It's time! Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is NATOJI and today this is a Guardian Tale, the ultimate tier list for every single unique hero in the game. But before to get started, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to support the channel if you want to see more content. For today's tier list, as you can see here, every single hero are ranked by the ability of covering multiple content, not only arena. This is not arena top tier competitive list. And this playlist is for beginners and mid-game players who should prioritize resources investment in units, versatile units that you can use in different type of content for a faster progression. So here as you can see the ranking is explained. Tier C is just, dead. Tier B, too niche or have better counterpart for most contents. The tier A are overall fantastic units worth investing in for mid and late game progression to really improve, for example, your red teams or to have some specific mono teams. We will review that. And finally, the tier S, that's just the best unit to invest for beginners and any type of player really, because those units can carry you early on in the game from the start up to the end game and in most of the content. So it's a very valuable investment. But before we get started, few disclaimers. Number one, any hero in Guardian Tale is worth building if you want to have fun with. That's it. This tier list is just about some of those units that can really cover most of the content. If you pick a low tier unit, it doesn't mean that they're trash. They are just not optimal choices for fastest progression in early and mid game across all the content. So let's get started. I will go fast. I don't want this video to be half hour long. So here, for example, tier C, we have Aleph, simply because of his party buff, his too niche and specific. Now, as I mentioned, for example, I was kicked out by some whales in arena with Aleph on some specific map. So once again, doesn't mean he's trash, but his party buff is ranged defense only, which is very specific, very niche, and overall use for most of the content. They are much better heroes to build up your first team with. Now for the tier B, I'm going to start to cry a little bit because some of those heroes like Marina carry me early on in the game, but since then there are plenty of other heroes that came up much better. Let's get started. Idol Eva from left to right. She is amazing in the Colosseum, but this is very late game. She's also a very good support to improve the attack of your team. But once again, they are just much better counterpart, and she's not really overeater. She has some heal, but it's not where she shines really. So really, she's becoming Colosseum specific. After Marina, so Marina, yeah, they're just much better tank. Name it, Future Princess, Ogma, even Arena will do a much better job nowadays. She remained very good. Her kit is quite suitable for Arena, but lately with all the Earth unit, hashtag Meryl or Camel coming to Arena, we don't see her anymore, and her kit is honestly quite outdated. Doesn't provide as much support as the other tanks. After we have Lan, so Lan, she's just a HP buffer, and there are just many better HP buffer in the game. Future Princess, Noxia and much more. She can deal tons of damage, very fun, late game arena, you know, as a light counter, why not, but overall too niche in there. After there is MK2, so MK2 overall mobility, pretty slow in arena. She can compete a little bit if you are waiting on the game. End game, you have two tank aside of her, but she didn't make the cut, and right now there is not enough ranged dark heroes to make a proper team around her. After there is Yuzi. I mentioned it a few times on the channel when we review. She has been totally overhyped in my opinion when she went out, because yeah, she was sexy, she can spin, that's fun, but that's all. She doesn't have a lot of build. She didn't manage to get anywhere in arena very fast. We've seen also that her damage was so-so, but most importantly, yes, she must be in contact in order, you know, to speed up a little bit the things. She is also a regen speed party buffer, and out there Future Knight just does a much better job at it, to be honest. She can be valuable, of course, in a melee attack team, dark melee attack team. She replaced Lupina, for example, in some team with Beth and Lilith, so we can see her in late game for sure. She can be very helpful, and also some aspect of the PvE, but that's all. Now for the tier A, plenty of heroes, so I'm not going to break down every single hero, it would be just too long. So overall here, those units are worth investing for mid and late game. Once you finished your story, your PvE, most of your story, you gather your first reward, you build up a first team. Usually most of the players after start to look for those units to improve the red damage, for example, or because they started in a certain element and they want to build up a mono elemental team. So that's why here you can see prioritise, for example, for the fire team, or Arabelle, or Lapis, or Garam. All of them also are very valuable if you want to go for the reds. So here we go. We start here. We have prioritise. So once again, red team also with Vishuvak, they become quite trendy to troll end game because there is Camel for arena. After you have Lapis, same, can troll very well in a full light team with Eugene. We have also Arabelle. She can be very strong as a leader in the Colosseum, and she is also very good to boost up the dark element in the reds. Bianca, I hesitate to be honest with you because she's very good, and when you pair her with Garam, actually you can even compete in the Colosseum even if there are some Camel around and stuff. But yeah, she's just slightly going back. Orca is coming. Lucy took a spot already in the reds, but she's still very valuable in the reds. In the water team, I'm still using her. So yes, she is still to me a tier A. After you have Eugene, we spoke about it. Veronica, fantastic for the water mono team, and overall a very good unit. She can increase once again the critical hit multiplier from your team, deal up some damage. She has some heal, but just not enough. But she's very fun to play late game once again in arena. And after we have Garam, which remains the leader when it comes to the water teams. Is really for the mono water in the reds. Is really an amazing glass cannon DPS. I mentioned also in Colosseum, you can pair him with Bianca or even in arena, but nowadays such glass cannon doesn't last long, to be honest. For the second patch here for the tier A, we start with Eleanor. Fantastic if you have a full mono light team or mostly light team base, because she buffed them all, so that's why you can see her a lot in Colosseum. Of course with MK99 Future Princess, but also in the reds, in the light team. After we have Rue. Rue, in my opinion, she is very underrated. She's still so strong in arena. She has a very good defensive mechanism, can deal some good damage, but just the Shen skill doesn't cut it. Anyway, and because Camel came over, is Earth unit type and range also as well, he really took her spot, but she remained very valuable. Same for Barry here, a bit glass cannon except when you pair her with Meryl, but she remained a staple if you want to increase your Earth rage damage, or if you want to go into the Colosseum. She is a skill attack party buffer. She's fantastic in PvE because she shoots through the walls. You just hold down the button and she melts really all around with the bullets. I really love her, but she's once again a bit paper mail glass cannon if you don't have Meryl with her. After we have Scientist Zoe, so she's very specific in the meaning of she's fantastic in the Colosseum to chase the range hero and really break them down like MK99. She's fantastic. She's such a good and strong also melee attacker in arena, but overall she has some heal also support. I tried her in PvE. She is great, but when there is a defense decrease, this is where a wall mechanism, she build up defense as her HP goes, and this is where she doesn't add up. So yeah, she's a bit too niche, and I believe that overall they are much better melee attacker. We are going to review for your progression. After there is Tigna. So Tigna was a Colosseum queen very early on, one of the first special hero released in Guardian Tales, but overall they put a lot of buff and things, but she's just, yeah, pepper glass cannon, but fantastic AoE, can decrease defense, fantastic of course for the range team in the reds, and can still have use in the Colosseum, but she won't make it, to be honest with you, even in arena. And finally here, Lucy and also Scintilla, both of them fantastic red buffer. They have been fantastic, amazing unit, but aside of this, once again, not too much Colosseum. They don't have a strong defensive mechanism. The AI is a bit so yes, they are sticking here in the tier A. Now for the tier S here, those are the top you need to invest in Guardian Tales, either for early progression up to endgame. They will cover most of the content, but most importantly, there is one huge difference with those heroes in the tier S here. This is the skill set. It's a much more complete. They bring it all. They have some unique skill, each and all of them, and also they have some offensive skills, defensive skills, and supportive skills to the team. So they packed it all, and they're very impactful, and really that using them is just a breeze for most of the progression in your content. So let's get started. Future Princess, not to be introduced anymore. She has an immunity shield for your team. She can heal them back when she attack, and also she is able to one weapon skill, Shen skill against opponent in PvE and most importantly in PvP, which make her still valuable there. But overall, she is a fantastic tank, of course, for your PvE progression. So she's just a staple. After there is Ogma. Ogma is a fantastic party defense buffer. As you can see, everything resolved around this defense. The highest the defense, which is pretty unique, the highest it will balance back his defense to your team. It will boost their defense. And on the top of this, he has that unique skill. It can reflect damage on shield, which is very strong for PvE when you have a lot of mobs on map. And this is why he is such a king when it comes to the late game PvE, for example in Camazon, Orbital Rift. But he remained as the start always. He never disappeared from the arena scene or Colosseum. It is just such a strong unit. After you have Arena also very strong. She can just annihilate status ailment, so she can, not be injured, not be airborne. All of this is really helpful once again in PvE and PvP, where you have a lot of status ailment going on, not only on Shen skill. People can injure you also, like Lin for example, on the weapon skill. So this is pretty helpful, and I tried her in PvE, she's fantastic. After there is Lilith, not to be introduced, unique and fantastic. First of all, everything resolved around the demon spike. If you spike people, then you trigger everything. First of all, you can decrease the normal defense, meaning it's not elemental defense. It can benefit any element hero in your team, so pretty versatile. On the top of this, she can heal back the team on the Shen skill, and also most importantly, once you wear a weapon, she has a 20% damage reduction consistent buff. So actually it makes her pretty viable against the light heroes or the light opponent in PvE. So very strong hero. After there is Mia. She's just the strongest support in this game, hands down, meaning that on one side she provides some very good offensive with the party skill attack percent for all your team here, but on the other side, the strongest skill in the game, I mentioned it and I mention it again, this is removing negative effect. In an ongoing development of the game where you have lots of debuff in PvE and PvP with all the new units that can decrease your defense, your elemental resistance and more, removing negative effect is the most powerful skill in Guardian Tales, and she can do it on the normal attack, on the Shen skill, which is so strong to compare some other units which can trigger only on the Shen skill, for example. So she is a fantastic healer as well. She's the best healer in the game. She heals on every single skill, so a strong support here, and she is a must. She always been strong in Colosseum. A lot of people haven't used her so much because at one point there was the Garam Bianca, but yeah, she always been an amazing hero. And you can see once again late PvE climbing for Orbital Reefs or Camazon, she's on the top team. And about another fantastic late PvE climber, this is Beth. So Beth is unique because on the Shen skill and on the weapon skill, she can build up a shield on the damage she deals. And this is why make her so strong, make her so sustainable on herself, why she is able to apply some elemental resistant debuff to increase her damage. She is just a strong powerhouse as a melee attacker. She is amazing in most of the content, remaining also very good in arena because you just chase people, you hold on and it's easy, you don't have to do nothing, you just chase and kill. Very short also weapon skill regen time, which is pretty good to just start the rotation of the Shen skill on your team. Very strong. After we have Lin. Lin is unique in the meaning of she is a fire melee attack, but among them all, she's the strongest, to be honest with you, because she can apply that injured damage. Of course, it can be countered in PvP, for example, if someone is having any type of equipment that can negate injured damage, she would struggle, but overall she remains just so strong. In raids, for example, in media attack, but you can go also, of course, in any media attack type of composition in arena. She can just, put those damage over time, chase people. She has a very good also defensive mechanism, some great sustain, very good resilient melee attacker in the game, very helpful across all the content. For the next tier S patch here, we start with Nari, not to be introduced anymore. She's just so amazing across all the content. She's so versatile. She's key in the raids. She's still very strong also as well in Colosseum, in Arena if you want to, and in any type of range team when you go into PvE. She's just so strong simply because she has very nice damage output, but most importantly she can decrease the defense on the normal attack, and this is so strong in Guardian Tales. Being able to do that really help any team to get through and deal tons of damage. After we have the Future Knight, so we mentioned about the Regent speed party buffer, and she's just the queen, to be honest with you. She's just amazing. She's paper made, but still, once again, across most of the content, even in arena and trolling from time to time, if you build a full crit, for example, in the Colosseum, and in some teams also as well, comp in the raids, she is very helpful. But she's fantastic, most importantly, also when you bring her into the PvE, into the story. The ability she has to build up her own shield of immunity is very strong at some clutch moment, for example in PvE against bosses if you are struggling, so she's just fantastic. After there is Meryl, critical party buffer ranged, but what a burst she has on the Shen skill, it's just insane. And if you build her right, and I recommend you look at my guides, I have a guide for most of those hero todays on the channel. She's just, if you build her with the right amount of critical hits, she can just deal a ton of damage, increase the movement speed, and reduce the earth elemental resistance of your opponent, and just drop them down with some heavy Shen skill. Love her. After MK99 in the same spirit, a very strong DPS here, a bit on the glass cannon side to be honest with you, but she just rip everywhere. She's very strong. Once again, if you want to bring all those units here, you can see, of course, I speak about Meryl and MK99 for the raids also, very strong unit. And in the Colosseum, in some night team, we spoke about Iliano early on, but she's really, even for the red, she's really the leader here in terms of dealing damage. After I put Noxia here, proudly I put Noxia because she's just one of the best units to me in the whole game, just in terms of having that ghost that can act as a tank. Tense enemy, so powerful in Colosseum. Even when I'm facing full light team with MK99, I still can win with Noxia. Even if the ghost get wrecked, it takes some of the damage, absorb damage, take some attention with the turns, and she did tons of damage. You have seen many times, even when she went out against Future Princess, after 2 Shen skill, if you play well, you can just, really trick people and manage to get even against the elemental counter and have a win. So she's a fantastic unit. Of course, you won't see her in the red, but anywhere else, and I'm speaking a lot of times about Camazon and Rift, but also in the co-op, she is an amazing unit, and of course in PvE as well, because she can deal both ranged and melee damage. And finally we have Gabrielle. So Gabrielle, critical party buffer, range unit, can provide a ton of assistance when it comes to the lighting because she can decrease the light resistance. She has also the critical buff to improve their offensive staff, but she is pretty versatile also as well because this is good for any type of team, and she has a good heal. Overall, she's a fantastic unit across most of the content, especially in the PvE, in the story also as well. She is valuable in Colosseum and Arena if you want to. She is a great critical party buffer ranged unit with some very good support skills. And here, surprise, surprise, this is the TIERS Z. So this is on another level of power creep. And this one is totally not biased because I really was crying for a Bando in the game, and he came out not only because he's a god, but because Camille, for real, across any content, is the only unit in the game that can really master it all. Anywhere you can see in Arena, Colosseum, in the Reds, in all the type of PvE, he brings it all. He can decrease AoE, decrease of the defense on the normal attack. This is so helpful for your team to improve the damage. He has such a strong heal also as well when it comes to the chain skill, and overall tons of damage tools in his kit and remove negative effect. We mentioned it with Mia. This is so powerful. So it just bring it all. It have offensive, defensive, skill, attribute, the stat are out of the roof. Strong also damage output, removing effect, some heal. He does it all and he's a range attacker. The reason why here I put it on the god tier level, on the top of the top. Please let us know in the comment section below if you agree or if you disagree also as well with this playlist. I decided really to take a lot of time and build a full playlist because every single 2 weeks when we do the Who is Worth Your Gems, a lot of you are pulling some unique heroes out of the banner and are coming over and asking questions about, hey NATOJI, who should I prioritize? This is really banner. I just got Idol Eva, and I'm always very happy to answer to each and every one of you, as you all know in the channel, when it comes to who should you pick. And I hope also as well you enjoy this type of tier list. Once again, as you have seen, this is based on my personal experience, subjectivity in terms of how should we value a hero for early and mid game player. To me, it's not only to arena top PvP, doesn't make any sense, and most of the time also it's not accurate. Anyway, if you like the video, please feel free to destroy and smash that like button, to share it with your friend. You can also subscribe if you are new to the channel, or if you are coming again and again to support the channel, just to let me know that you are enjoying the content and you would like to see more. As usual, I wish you all to be safe, to be well, and until the next, stay tuned.